Hi everyone! So, when it comes to Jurassic Park, there's no denying that this film is a beloved classic. Directed by Steven Spielberg, this movie taught us that if you're going to create an amusement park filled with dinosaurs, make sure it can't all be shut down by one guy at his computer. Naturally, a sequel followed this smash hit, but while The Lost World had a decent premise going for it, with our heroes being stuck on an island where the dinosaurs roamed freely in the wild, it isn't as liked as the original, to put it mildly. Jurassic Park 3 definitely didn't do this franchise any favors, and showed that the dinosaur thing was pretty much played out. So, you can imagine everyone's surprise when Jurassic World was announced, and we're probably wondering, where can they possibly take this franchise now? To put it simply, the answer is back to where it all got its start. But will Jurassic World provide the frog DNA necessary to bring this franchise back to life, or will it be the comet that results in its extinction? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Short and to the Point, where I review movies in 5 minutes or less, or your money back.
Say again.
We have a T-Rex.
Wow.
Put your head between your knees.
Dr. Grant, my dear Dr. Sattler, welcome to Jurassic Park.
We're gonna make a fortune with this place.
Think it'll scare the kids?
The kids? This'll give the parents nightmares.
Our story begins 22 years after Jurassic Park, and despite the events of that movie and I guess the sequels, it's not clear if they happened since this film never references them, John Hammond's dream has finally come to life in the form of Jurassic World. It's heartwarming seeing the park open at last, especially since John had no malicious intentions when he created it all those years ago. However, because the public has grown used to seeing dinosaurs, the Jurassic World scientists create a brand new dinosaur, known as the Indominus Rex, in order to up the wow factor. This of course backfires when the Indominus breaks out of its containment unit, and the race is on to keep it from reaching the guests within the park. One thing I liked about this movie was how certain aspects of its story had a level of meta-ness to them. For example, Bryce Dallas Howard's character Claire compares seeing a dinosaur today to seeing an elephant, and she's not wrong. Back in 1993, the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were some of the greatest things ever made by CGI. Before Toy Story came along, that is. Nowadays, a multitude of things can be brought to life through CGI, greatly decreasing the novelty of seeing dinosaurs. Chris Pratt's character Owen thinks that seeing dinosaurs should still be enough to draw in an audience, but as we all remember, the Jurassic Park sequels both made less money at the box office than their predecessor. Having been ordered to create cooler dinosaurs by the owner of the park, the head Jurassic World scientist, played by B.D. Wong, reprising his role from the first movie, splices T-Rex DNA together with other creatures to create the Indominus Rex, despite the danger that might pose since he has no idea how it might act. That can be seen as the equivalent of bringing in a screenwriter from the first movie and asking them to work their magic on a series low in ideas, resulting in the creation of something that just might be crazy enough to work. While we're on the subject of the Indominus, I was a little disappointed with its character design. It's not terrible, but there isn't anything special about it outside of the eyes. Now don't get me wrong, the Indominus is still an intimidating creature thanks to the directing. I'm just saying that the effects team could have made it scarier looking is all. The Indominus is also something of a villain suit, as it was prepared for everything our heroes threw at it, but that's a minor nitpick since the gene splicing granted it heightened intelligence and a few other cool surprises hidden in its genetic code. I really liked how gene splicing returned in this movie, since back in Jurassic Park, the parts about the dinosaurs having frog DNA in their genetic structure had no impact on the plot, whereas in this film, the gene splicing literally created a monster. Moving on, let's look at our protagonists. Chris Pratt brings his usual wit and charm to his character, and when Bryce Dallas Howard stopped being a motionless corporate lady and showed that she could feel, I grew to like her. Nick Robinson and Ty Simpkins play her nephews Zach and Gray respectively. Zach gets major points from me for not treating his brother like an annoyance as you'd expect him to since he's the oldest. As for Gray, his joy at being in Jurassic World was nothing short of adorable. However, despite my liking for these characters, I do think the film could have made better use of them. Zach and Gray in particular are just there so we can see the park before all hell breaks loose, and could have been left out of the second half of the movie with little to no consequences. Owen, meanwhile, takes more than half the film to get actively involved with the hunt for the Indominus Rex, and while I admire Claire for personally searching for her nephews, she doesn't get to do a whole lot otherwise. On the other hand, she does help out in a way that gets her some major bonus points, but I can't talk about that because of spoilers. The story also could have been structured a little bit better. It starts off well enough, but then, as per Jurassic Park tradition, there is a conspiracy to use the dinosaurs for less than pure intentions, and it complicates the story, it takes up screen time, yada yada. Things do come together in a big way during the final act, however, and despite some obvious jump scares and plenty of red shirt characters, the action scenes with the Indominus and other dinosaurs were quite thrilling, and I found some of the death scenes to be visually creative as well. So overall, I did enjoy Jurassic World. It was a little more complicated than it needed to be, and the premise of the dinosaurs being loose in an open park wasn't used to its fullest potential, but it was still an entertaining film, with tense action scenes, some decent characters, and it expanded on the theme that there are certain lines that science shouldn't cross, along with some good drama from not just the humans, but also the dinosaurs. I'm going to give this film 7 genetically modified dinosaurs out of a possible 10, and I do recommend it for a theatrical viewing. This has been short and to the point, and I review movies in 5 minutes or less, or your money back. Now, if you'll excuse me. Anybody hear that? That's an impact tremor, that's what it is. I'm very alarmed here.